We are not smiling because of how the game played yesterday between Nigeria and the Cameroonian ladies. It was a game that saw Nigeria's journey at the WAFCON ended in a sober way, but after the game, we saw the ladies crying, shedding out tears, and it was more of an emotional game than what was expected from them yesterday. We lost the game 1-0, and the match did not go in our favor. But this is why we love football. We win most times, and sometimes again we also we lose the game. Silas is there with me this morning in the studio, and I will just allow him take us to the journey where he talks more about the analysis of the game that happened yesterday.
Yes, thank you, and good morning too. We lost the match 1-0 yesterday, and the Super Falcons didn't play bad. We gave it all. The girls gave it all they had, and in this analysis, I'll be showing you how they did that and why it still wasn't enough to break this Cameroonian side. Without further ado, let's analyze. Now we began the match with a 4-3-3, as we have seen Madugu, use throughout the tournament up to this point, against the Cameroonians 4-2-3-1. Now the difference in this our setup is that most times we could switch. All right, so sometimes you see us with a 4-1-2-3, like the classic 4-3-3, or a 4-2-1-3. That is a double pivot that we have always clamored for here. And the Cameroonian ladies were very compact in their shape, so much that more of the space were in the wings. So as against Egypt, our girls took the football to the wings, and our game plan was simple: take it to the wings, find a pass inside, a cutback, and then we shoot, and then we score. But that didn't happen because of the goalkeeper. Not the defense. The defense of the Cameroonians were not good at all. I think from the two shots we had on target, it was a spill-off rebound ball from the defenders trying to clear the ball out, and we got those two shots. But the Cameroonian keeper, who was the man of the match, ultimately, she was really monstrous. It's been a while we've seen this performance from a goalkeeper. It was really good. Now, taking us through into the match, there were things that we could have done to really help us. When a goalkeeper is showing this sign of getting into the flow state, he's saving balls. Any ball she sees, she can save. Then it's on us, it's on the players to get a little bit more clever with their finishing, show a little improvisation. So you don't shoot because you have a chance to shoot. You try to get clever, and this is where I felt I think the ladies did not improvise at all, and this cost us the match. Even to the last chance that we had to equalize in the match, we couldn't just find that final touch into the net because the goalkeeper was saving everything that she could see. Now, if you see, look very well on the video, this is a cross coming in to the far post. Now there is space on the other side. You can head the ball across goal, and then we attack that space. The goalkeeper is fully focused on the person not heading the ball, but has left the far post open. We can attack and score, and this went on throughout the match. I dare to say they were looking for this glory moment where it's me that equalize, and in moments like this, it calls for a teamwork. You can see people unmarked at the other end of the goal, completely unmarked. The defenders are not even looking at her, not keeping track of her, and yet we could not find that final pass. We were just shooting, and the goalkeeper was on top of her game. This is arguably her best match, maybe possibly, especially for her country. So we needed to get clever, and up to the last moment, still we couldn't get clever. As we saw, Asisa running and Okoronko 2v1 versus the keeper. It gave us the glimpses of the Colomwani Miss versus Argentina in the World Cup final 2022 in Qatar. you and Mbappe versus the keeper. You could give Mbappe, you could chip the ball. You know, you could play on that between the keeper's legs, because in these situations, in this game moments, the keeper prefers to make themselves really big to cover enough space, and the keeper did just that. He could just play under, of course, but then, like we have been saying, the decision making in the final third to get us over the line against these Cameroonians wasn't just there. And this was very much, you see in the last chance that we missed here, that we utterly missed. You can see the frustration on of the players, because these simple decisions should be easy to come by, but we failed time and time again. We didn't fail once, we didn't fail twice, we failed time and time again to improvise in these situations, since the goalkeeper was showing us that, oh, you're not getting past me. As long as I see the ball, I'm saving it. So let's play the ball in a way that she will not see it coming. And we failed to do that, and that cost us the match and our World Cup hopes slightly. Now we have to even do more hard work. That rounds up the analysis for the Super Falcons against Cameroon.
The last time I was talking about mentality, that this phase that we're entering in the competition is a phase where mentality has to be 100. You're supposed to be 100% focused on the game. You're supposed to be ready at any time that you're called upon in the game. And we saw from the ladies yesterday, both from the players that started the match and those that came off the bench, mentally they were not 100. I could tell because I was watching the game, and I could tell the girls were lacking many things upstairs that yesterday. I don't know what the situation in their camp was, but we could already just see that they were never ready mentally. Did you think mentally level we lost the game, or it was just because of the proper poor setup from the coach?
Now, let me start from the poor setup. The coach, as for the last game, it's just the last game we're talking about. The coach really did well. He set up the girls in the best way he could, and you could see from the chances that we were generating. You know, we had 19 shots, 9 on target. So it wasn't a system failure. It was a decision-making failure, especially when it mattered the most. So you could see we didn't struggle to keep the ball. We didn't concede enough. Even the goal they scored us was from a set piece. And of course, the Cameroonian ladies offered little threat going forward, except for just set pieces. You know, and they were not, I don't take anything from that set piece. It was really good. I don't say the keeper didn't set her wall well, didn't prepare well. It was a really thunderous strike from the defender of the Cameroonians yesterday. And mentally, I won't say they didn't go for it, but there's mentality, and then there's decision making. So I'm all in for decision making. The final decision to make in front of goal wasn't just there. You know, you can be mental. Yes, I will do this. Yes, I will do this. But then you need to find easier ways to do it. There's the best way to catch a rat. You know, there are so many ways. They say there's so many ways to catch a rat, but there is the best way to catch a rat, and we couldn't find the best way to do that.
On the side of mentality level, I would give it to the ladies. What those girls did during the game and even before the game, their preparation was 200 top notch. They had this player called A2 in their team. I think the lady wearing the jersey number 10. She plays extremely well, and before the game she was interviewed, and she said the setup of players that Nigeria has been meeting before during the previous editions of every tournament and friendlies that we've played them before that is totally different from this setup that they are bringing to us this time around, which is the one they brought to us yesterday. She said Nigeria should be in for a strong battle. And in our West, I would say they delivered. What they promised us was what they gave us. They delivered. And that's when I read that article about her, I was like, is it not these same people that we've been beating countless times? So, do you think one of the reasons we lost the match was maybe us relying too much on the previous meetings we had against the Cameroonians? Or it was just, you know, when you get a bad day in the office,
Yeah, but yeah,
You don't need to do. In fact, even if you do much, you still get that bad day. Do you think it was just a bad day for us yesterday?
in our match preview before the match yesterday, I said that the only thing that could stop us was us ourselves. So the only thing that could stop the Super Falcons was the Super Falcons. It was really us stopping ourselves. So yes, the Cameroonian lady, I like that mentality to come out and say yes, we are going to do it this time. And of course, it's something expected from a supposed underdog team. They are like, the Malawi. We didn't expect that result. So everyone coming against the Super Falcons, every women's team coming against Super Falcons in this tournament, come with this mentality that we want to prove them wrong. We want to show ourselves that we can actually beat the defending champions of this tournament. In the game yesterday, of course, the final score will look as if, yeah, they did what they said they would do. But no, they didn't stop us. They didn't stop us. With all due respect to their mentality and everything, they didn't stop us. We were our own problem.
From what we got from your analysis already about the chances created, and we had 19 and 9 on target. Don't you think, and getting 9 on target without no goal, don't you think it's something that we need to be scared of going forward?
Yeah, it's something we don't need to be scared of. I think we should take into consideration that when you put on that kind of monster performance and you come away with nothing to show for it, it calls for the alarm bell start ringing. What is this? What happened? What went wrong? Of course, the team and the backroom staff, the coaching team should look at it critically. What went wrong? And I've already pointed out some of those things, at least one of those things in my analysis. We cannot overlook also the performance of the goalkeeper, or the Cameroonian goalkeeper. She was man of the match. She made 9 saves. So if you get it, we had 9 shots on target. She had 9 saves. So she could contain us. She was the only thing that stopped us.
And on the other part of our own goalkeeper, I think she had little or nothing to even do. But when the goal just came and the thing just passed and it was just inside the net. And there was a time I was like, you sure someone will begin the question this positioning of the goalkeeper, because it was a free kick. And I didn't see any reason why you would form your wall this side and you're still behind that wall. That was supposed to be a shield covering one angle of your post, while you go through the other angle. Then if that's the set piece taker, if the player is smart enough to beat your one and gets that goal, kudos should be given to that player.
Yeah.
But when you are giving the player every opportunity to go directly to what she was seeing, then I think you should take some responsibilities on how you consider that yesterday. Not to blame anybody, because definitely football is a game, it's a team sport. And if one man fails, the whole team fails. So we are not pinpointing it out like Anodose was supposed to do. She's the cause of our.
No. Yeah, but this is not an attack on her person or on her capabilities or abilities as a goalkeeper in this Super Falcons team. We are not questioning her qualities. Yeah, but we need to question her decision making in that. Like we have questioned the attacker's decision making in the final third. We need to question, because you set up the wall here, and then you are here
again. And with that speed, there is nothing you could do.
So it wasn't good to look at.
Now questions are being asked about Madugu's impact in the team. You know that there are no times that we come to this place and we just leave Madugu out of our mouth. Not like this is not me now. This is not Edwin now asking questions directly about the coach. But I was online yesterday and I saw many people criticizing and many people still giving credit to Madugu. Because on the side of our setup yesterday, I didn't think he needed to do much. I think he did basics of what he was supposed to do. But questions are already beginning to start coming up, considering our World Cup routes are being too difficult, and if you cannot conquer the African way, there are many limitations. Now people are thinking there are many things that will be holding us going forward in the intercontinental qualification.
Yes,
Madugu now.
yeah.
We used to see.
With Madugu, if we take into consideration just this game,
Yes.
no, he set up the team really well, and yes. But if we're taking in general from the
Yes.
whole, yeah, of course those questions are almost valid, but then we have to consider that the questions that are coming now because we could not qualify
Qualified.
it's coming it will come mostly, I believe it's come mostly from frustration,
Yes, I think
from
exactly.
yes, from frustration, and not from logic that, oh, Madugu this, Madugu
Yes,
that. So it's
frustration.
frustration that we didn't qualify, and of course they are being realistic, not that they are being pessimistic, they are being realistic that the the World Cup qualification now is looking like a dream, because
Yeah.
if we cannot conquer in Africa here,
It's almost impossible. That's what people are saying.
is it this is the same thing we're saying with the with the men's
Yes.
team. Oh, we did not qualify, so now if we beat this, then we'll beat this. If we
And
if
once
we
we need to consider, once we need to check again this. I think this is the first time, if I am not wrong, that we don't have any crop of any setup at all from the under 17 team down to the senior team playing at any level of the World Cup. Our under 17 team did not qualify.
yes, they didn't
Our
qualify.
under 20 boys, yesterday Burkina Faso, we are seriously working on our boys. As South Africa, as what's it called, Cameroonians were dealing with our Falcons team. Burkina Faso was handling but they ironed our boys with flat level that
As well.
but I was like, what's happening? What's really happening? So on the 20 boys also they suffered defeat yesterday. I think a 3-0 defeat. I was following the match up to 1 when it got to 3-0. I said, no, I don't finish with this one. I'm focus on the Falcons. At least one goal can still change the game around for us, but nothing. Our female team now, we need to go through the same route the Eagles followed before, and we still lost the playoff also to DR Congo. Our no. Now this question should be asked about NFF in general, not just the coaches now that are involved in
Yeah,
every aspect.
it has become a pattern, because
Exactly.
at every level we are
This
failing.
level is failing, this one is failing, and the only level that has been outstanding
Is failing now. Yes.
So
yes.
I think questions now should be asked directly to NFF, not just to the coaches here
or the players.
At every level.
Yes, it's like you said, it's a sign of an issue, a bug, a kind of rottenness somewhere, because it started from the Super Eagles like joke. Like joke started, now it's like a virus is spreading, and then now we are seeing it even in the Super Falcons team.
Okay,
that is something we cannot continue to.
It's something that we cannot really continue. And we've already had our results and we've known our fate already. We will now have a difficult route in going to the World Cup, and we just wish things turns around to be in favor of the Falcons again. I saw them crying yesterday, and after the match, and it was really heartbreaking for the ladies. Most of them now they might not play the next World Cup again, and retirement is already here for most of them also. But let's see what happens in the future, and we are just wishing things goes well for the ladies and they enjoy, they get their smiles back to their faces. Don't say never. Always stick to the Falcons. They are the best that we have, and they will continue to fly and take our flag higher in the sky. Super Falcons will continue around, and definitely we believe, me personally,